Nobody expected this. Filipino boys Elvis cover breaks AGT. When the lights dimmed on the stage of America's Got Talent, the audience expected another good performance, maybe even a great one. But what they did not expect was a quiet Filipino boy to walk onto that massive stage and completely change the atmosphere within seconds. Dressed simply, with nervous eyes and a humble smile, he introduced himself softly. The judges, including the ever-critical Simon Cowell, leaned forward with polite curiosity. No flashy entrance. No dramatic backstory package. Just a microphone, a spotlight, and a dream. The crowd clapped supportively, unaware that they were about to witness a performance that would echo far beyond that theater. It was the kind of moment reality television lives for, the unexpected spark that turns into a blazing fire. As the first notes of an Elvis Presley classic filled the auditorium, everything changed. The boy's voice didn't just resemble Elvis. It carried the same depth, the same velvet tone, the same effortless power that once shook arenas around the world. Gasps rippled through the audience. Some people covered their mouths in disbelief. It wasn't imitation. It felt like revival. Each lyric was delivered with emotional precision, as though he understood every word beyond his years. The stage lighting seemed to glow warmer as the performance intensified, and even the band looked stunned. This was not just a cover, it was a transformation. For those few minutes, time bent backward, and the spirit of rock and roll felt alive again. The camera cut to the judges' panel, and their reaction said everything. Simon Cowell's eyebrows lifted higher with each chorus. He exchanged a look with the other judges, the kind of look that says, "This is special." The audience, initially cautious, rose slowly to their feet before the final note even ended. By the time the last chord faded, the theater erupted. Cheers thundered from wall to wall. Some fans had tears in their eyes, overwhelmed by nostalgia and awe. The young performer stood there, slightly trembling, as if he couldn't quite believe what had just happened. In that instant, he wasn't just a contestant. He was a star being born in real time. What made the moment even more powerful was the contrast between expectation and reality. Viewers at home may have judged him at first glance. A shy Filipino kid from a small background stepping into one of the biggest talent stages in the world. But talent does not ask for permission, and greatness does not need a grand introduction. His voice carried history, but it also carried hope. It proved that music crosses borders, generations, and cultures. The performance quickly began trending online, clips spreading across social media platforms within hours. Fans around the world debated whether they had just heard the closest thing to Elvis himself. Comment sections exploded with praise, disbelief, and admiration. Beyond the viral fame, there was something deeply human about the performance. You could see the gratitude in his eyes when the judges gave their feedback. Simon Cowell, known for his sharp honesty, praised not just the vocal accuracy, but the emotional authenticity. That validation meant everything. For a young boy who likely practiced in a small room far away from the bright lights of television, this was more than applause. It was affirmation. It was proof that dedication, passion, and courage can open doors that once seemed unreachable. His family, shown in the audience, wept with pride. In that theater, dreams were no longer distant ideas. They were unfolding reality. By the end of the night, one thing was certain. Nobody would forget this audition. It wasn't just about sounding like Elvis Presley. It was about reminding the world why music matters. It was about seeing potential rise beyond expectation. On that stage of America's Got Talent, a young Filipino boy didn't just perform. He made history in his own way. Whether he wins the competition or not, his audition has already secured its place among the unforgettable moments of the show. And somewhere, perhaps in the hearts of millions watching, the King's legacy found a new voice, fresh, fearless, and full of promise.